Hey guys, Ethan here from Raid Shadow Legends. Well, Ethan that plays Raid Shadow Legends. I'm not actually from Raid Shadow Legends, in case anyone's confused. Here to watch the channel Fateless. I think Fateless used to be the name of the game and the developer from Hell Hades and team, but they've called their first game, maybe last game, maybe this game will not even happen, to be KEKForge. Um, Not sure how I feel about the name. It's not the worst name, right? But anyway, so they've got this demo. So I don't know what a demo actually is. It's not even an alpha. You can call it a pre-alpha. But I'm just going to react to it, right? I'm going to be honest, okay? I'm always honest. If it's good, it's cool. If it's not, I'm going to slag it off, basically. So let's have a look. That logo reminds me of who remembers World of Warcraft? Is it the Priest Arena Tier 2 set? Like in really early 2006 or 7.
Hey guys, this is Simon from Fateless. Yes, we've been in
That's very Valk.
Germany, in Cologne. We've been at the Gamescom meet and we've been showing off KEKForge, our demo, for the first time. A number of people came up to our booth and we were kind of like showing them the getting first hand.
I get the feeling this is like the Trump presidential meetings where there's actually like 6 people, but it makes it look like there's 20 people.
Feedback, and today we're going to be showing you showing them the game, getting first hand.
Is it just all dudes with one? No, there's 2 girls. Okay, gender balanced.
And today we're going to be showing you the demo. So I feel like this has been a long time coming. It's been a real kind of like landmark for us at Fateless, and you know,
it looks quite like Bronze Age civilization domain based, right? So instead of like Dungeons and Dragons based fantasy races, this seems more like Bronze Age high fantasy, not high fantasy, Bronze Age high, pre-monolithic monotheism religion kind of feeling, right?
Game KEKForge. If you are new to KEKForge and want to get involved in the beta, which is going to come early next year, you can come to the
Oh, so this is the alpha or some alpha
website, which I'll link down below, and sign up. You will also get to find out about KEKForge and Fateless and everything about our company, and just find out as much news as you want to.
I'm bored already.
If you go to the beta sign up, we'll just ask you for some basic information. If you want to be involved in that, you will have to come and join our Discord as well, which again, I'll link down below, because we will be looking for feedback firsthand from players as we get to that stage of our development.
I'll give you some feedback now.
Now I was thinking,
give you some feedback now. You can try to translate into text what I'm about to say.
It's down into a number of videos, and this might end up going quite long because I'm going to do a bit of a deep dive, but I figured I'm going to keep it all packed into one video.
Long, 11 minutes, and you haven't even started. It's short compared to your champion demo videos.
So you could kind of get your fill of the demo in one go. The first thing we had here was this cinematic.
Oh, it does say pre-alpha here. So yeah, okay.
Section. I'm not going to play it through in full, okay? And the reason for that is because this is going to be part of our storytelling, our lore in-game. I wanted to give you an idea of the type of campaign storytelling we're going to do. So we're going to be using this kind of like parallax storytell, where it's kind of like moving, animated 2D images. And I'll play a little bit more, but you'll get an idea of kind of the vibe we're going for, which hopefully is a little bit more interactive than what we see in some other games.
The mists of Avalon, dearest, are parting. Beyond them, I see an existence broken by time, its reality fractured, splintered. Across these cracks,
it's not very original, is it? It's just like, I think almost every kind of these kind of games start something like this. It's like, oh, there's like a lovely civilization. Oh, there's a barrier. Oh, the barrier's cracking. Oh, monsters come through. Oh, call to arms. Oh, the heroes have their differences. Oh, they must put them aside. Oh, they must come together. I don't know.
Greed-flavored soup. Spew forth those that want more glory.
Greed flavored soup is what? Am I hearing this correctly? Is this some kind of new Marks and Spencer's food chain?
More power, or simply just more. We need
More power or simply more? Lord, God save me.
an understanding of what the world now.
Anyway, so we're basically going to have this kind of like cinematic's the wrong word. It's not actually the right word. It's more like just campaign storytelling throughout the different kind of like parts of the campaign, and as you go into different game modes in KEKForge, just to give you a flavor of what's going on. Let's go into the hero section then. All of this was showcased on a mobile. In fact, it was optimized for mobile. So I'm showing you here on PC. It's actually not fully what it was optimized for.
Okay, but I wonder if he thinks that this will be actually played on mobile or PC. I'm guessing mobile.
But you can start to get a feel for the heroes we've got, the sort of detailing that we're doing.
Because one of the things I really don't like about Raid is that it's clearly designed for mobile, but most people, especially competitive people, play on PC. I'm the only person who doesn't play on PC, probably at top 50 arena. And you get punished for it because Plarium Point, or whatever it's called, is only available on PC. It's not available on mobile. So it's really sad, actually, that, I've spent quite a lot of money, but got 0 points.
Lighting stuff. Again, there's work to be done here. Like the lighting needs to just be...
That's fine. No one expects pre-alpha to get the lighting correct.
Up a touch in areas. And it was, I will be honest, like on the mobile where we've optimized it, you could get a better flavor of some of the heroes that we were looking at. But you can already see what's going on. So you can see...
Is it me or the proportions seem a bit off? Like the head is way too big and like those ropey things are like climbing ropes or like ship ropes. Yeah, the proportions just seem a bit weird.
Action, you can see the type of hero that they are. We have kind of like a little flourish that comes in for the heroes as well. Don't let me down, Leonidas. There we go. And you kind of get a vibe of the different heroes we've got. All of this is still subject to improvement. So the way this works in terms of like showing off visuals, you basically have lighting and shaders on your 3D asset.
One of the problems is if your pre-alpha stage champions, your earliest champions already include Zeus, Anubis, all your childhood heroes, Santa Claus. How are you going to expand the game? Like, there's literally nothing in lore more powerful than them, right? Like, if you just start off with all these really powerful gods, where are you going to grow in 5 years' time? And Raid had this problem, right? Some of the early champions were King of the Elves, is that Basilius and stuff, and literally the weakest champion in their faction, but they're the kings, right? Because they were early champions. Yeah.
And the more you kind of play around with them and get them optimized, the better, honestly, it's going to look. And we've got this kind of like 10-month runway where obviously we've still got plenty of time to be playing with this stuff, because the base 3D assets are immense. Like, they're so strong. And obviously with someone like an Anubis here, we would have some VFX running through his weapon. There's a lot more things which will still be done before we actually launch the game. But this demo was just giving people a flavor of, the type of aesthetic we're going for. King Arthur, I did show this in the Discord recently as a kind of like sneak peek, but he is now looking at badass.
I'm not sure back in those days they had that much armor, to be honest. The metallurgy just wasn't there, but it doesn't matter. That shield does look stupidly big though.
Have a weapon that makes some sense. Shield is absolutely insane. I feel like the cloak is really cool as well. Like, this is one of my faves, honestly. Really, really looking badass now. It looks like...
You just feel like they've probably spent 10 times the amount of time and effort on Arthur than they did for the other champions.
Kind of got that Captain America vibe to me. Like, he'll keep getting up, you know? That's what we wanted from him. So, yeah, King Arthur is looking strong. We've got Brunhild here. Ready to go. Musashi. Also one of my faves right now.
Who's Musashi?
Just love the... I think
I'm not sure there was a Japanese Bronze Age.
Flourish, this animation we've got going on. Ramses, who's kind of been the poster boy for a while. One of our foes, the Mummy. Again, just kind of like... It's a uncommon, so not as much detailing, but still pretty damn sweet. And then we've got Aphrodite, who has probably got my favorite ability in the game right now. But again, lots of work. So we've got the kind of like base of the game in terms of roster screen. Everyone's got their own skills and kind of leader bonuses and stuff like that. So that's all in the game.
Zeus looks pretty good.
And again, all of this stuff is subject to polish. So people were able to play around with this screen when we were at Gamescom. And then obviously we go into the battle.
Oh, God.
So in the battle, we had a predetermined level and we had predetermined heroes that you would select. So we've got 4 heroes as your offense.
That's a pretty strong team.
As our leader, and then Herc, Musashi, and Zeus as the offensive team. Also got this Enter Reliquary, which I've seen a few people talk about. So I'll take you through what that means as well.
Oh my God.
Some of these, interesting actually, you just saw like blue income in there. That's because it's the first time I've loaded this up on my PC. Just exit a second.
No one cares about that. No one cares about your screen glitches.
The kind of assets are loaded into your cache, I guess, and then you don't get the same type of vibe. So, right. We already had massive feedback, by the way, from the crew that tried the game at Gamescom around some of the animation stuff, around some of the interaction. So, like when I press this one here, which is a support skill, giving my team defense up, 80% chance to place intercept on the ally.
Magnum Quest vibes, like these buttons.
I then have to press it on a teammate. Now,
and the 3D-ish kind of feel.
Out,
very Magnum Quest.
What will happen is it will flip and show you your teammates to select. We didn't manage to get that built.
Another left, you see turn order, right? So this has got like Dragon Age kind of feeling, or like Baldur's Gate kind of feeling, right? Like you see the turn meter order. Which is pretty cool because in Raid you just have to work it out by the little yellow bars, the turn meter bars. So I think the interface is kind of nice, but the 3D kind of first person kind of view is a bit dizzying, I think.
Time for Gamescom. So for now, you just have to click on a portrait, which then gives your team their defense up. I guess what I'll do is I'll throw this on auto for a bit, just so you can kind of get a flavor. Or maybe I'll just strike from the heavens from Zeus. Let's just load this one in. Some good damage. Then we get some auto guys, so you can kind of just get
The environment damage is kind of interesting. I guess it doesn't do anything in reality. It's just a, for show. This first person thing or whatever perspective this is, it's just really going to make people sick.
Of some of the different animations and attacks and the way it feels. Got the mummies coming at us here. Brunhild finishes the day and it says you've uncovered a reliquary. Should we proceed? What's this mean? It's basically like a secret room in our game, and for some secret rooms you'll have to find the combinations of heroes or skill sets to allow you to find these rooms and go in there, which will be where you're able to uncover some pretty juicy loot. The idea for this for us is about
oh, okay. That's kind of a cool idea.
Community sharing, interaction, basically allows us to do some fun stuff for events. So, suddenly we're going to throw like 10 reliquaries into the game, and it's basically with some hints, and the community go out and try and find them, and then that's how they start to farm some really cool like legendary weapons, that type of thing. So we're going in. Again, we've got the blue thing because first time we've seen the Brazilian archer. But definitely starts to feel like we're in, a
Interesting that these archers had a turn meter that was much higher. Went first.
At this point. Let's just slow this down a minute. This is probably my favorite ability. Aphrodite ult coming at us. She stunned my whole team and pretty much getting wrecked.
Shouldn't she charm the whole team? But anyway.
Okay, so after taking some hard wreckage, it's my turn to fight back. Now,
Imagine almost losing in your own pre-alpha demo.
one of the systems we've got in KEKForge is this kind of like ultimate ability system. So it's Musashi's turn here, and I could decide, well, I want to try and take somebody out. So I could be like, well, I don't know, Zeus, ult Aphrodite. You can see she's pretty strong. She's kind of like a mini boss in this demo mode. Or I could just maybe I take the side ad out, actually. I'd be like, Zeus, unleash your ult. Oh, I didn't quite get the kill, but close enough. Musashi, then I'm like, well, you just put some damage into Aphrodite because I know that Herc's got.
It's like not being good at Raid. In order to be better at games like Raid, you build your own game. Oh, what an effort. And then you're not very good at that even. Oh, it's just painful.
AoE hits, so I can unleash a couple of ults at the same time if I choose to.
I think this demo might beat his like whole team, even though it's only got two champions there.
And then get a single target hit in here. Go back onto 2x speed. Oh, Zeus going again. Okay, Zeus, chill, my friend. And then Herc's like, right, I'm gonna come in with my A1 AoE hit and just get some wreckage done. So that kind of like strategic use of ults is going to be really interesting.
Strategic. Strategic. Okay.
A bit further into the game, we can just. It's like an AoE hit, more damage on the initial target, pretty strong. Actually, I would have kind of liked to show you Ramsey's abilities, but I think we're going to wreck him too hard. Okay. And then onto the main boss for the demo. Anubis comes in with the AoE. And
wow, that was pretty cool. Green laser beams.
Then we get a chance to kind of like fight back. I just feel like there's still plenty of polish to do, by the way. I know I get excited, and that's because this is like my baby right now. There's plenty of polish still to be done, but it does feel like some of these abilities are landing pretty well already.
It looks like there's positive and negative affinity, right? By the red and green arrows.
And obviously, the animations and stuff we just improve over time. But Zeus not quite got his ult. But there you go. So the first playable level, there's some rewards dropping in, and
oh lord, those rewards look like, I don't know, the whole graphics, especially this screen here, it just feels really late 90s, early 2000s, kind of like Baldur's Gate 2. Yes, Baldur's Gate 2 or Baldur's Gate 1, 96 to 99 kind of feeling, don't you think? Like Diablo 2 kind of feeling. I don't know. But with like Raid like kind of ideas.
Forge demo done. So hopefully you enjoyed it. As I say, there's tons more that we're doing now between now and beta launch and between now and release, and we'll continue.
Even got similar energy icon on the top right.
Videos. Make sure you sub to the YouTube channel. Please share the video with anyone you think might be interested.
Yep, I'm sharing
please
it.
Come and join us in the Discord as we kind
No,
of
I'm not
ramp
doing
up
that.
toward beta launch.
Ooh.
I've been Simon from Fateless. I'll see you
What's
in the next.
this? What is this?
Right, hey everyone, Susie here with
Oh,
Fateless,
God.
and I enjoy.
This is going to be so cringe. You can tell. How Hades. I want to look at the facial expressions of other people, see if they agree with him.
By some staff for Fateless and Magic Media. I'm the community manager, and
How Hades got a tattoo? Huh.
really looking forward to another chat here. So, what do we got?
Hi, I'm Laden, creative director. Hi.
I'm Simon, one of the co-founders at Fateless. We've been working with Magic Media for 18 months. Is it as long as that? Really? I think it's 18 months.
Yeah, you can see some discomfort there immediately. Like they say it as like a joke, right? But you can tell. Yeah.
We're kind of like well on our way to developing KEKForge, so exciting stuff, is it?
Yeah, well on your way, and the Adam was just like, not really. And how Hades is like, yeah, just say yes, man, just say yes.
Maybe at least 12.
Relationship there.
It's official on Facebook for these guys, so we really appreciate that. Juan is going to give us one more time his introduction because he is way more of a legend than that. Let's get him. Yes, let's go. Get it right up there.
But that guy told me to do it short.
Nice try.
Hi, my name is Laden. I'm creative director at Magic Media. I'm working with Fateless and KEKForge game. Good enough.
Alrighty, so this time I want to start with you guys. How did you find Magic Media to partner with in the first place?
It's kind of a long story, actually. It's really interesting. So when Simon and Dan approached me, like to get this started, we had to figure out, all right, well, what is it going to take to actually make this game? What kind of game are we going to make?
Yeah.
You can feel like there's some discomfort, like that. There's been arguments and debates, which is normal, but you feel like it's still lingering, right? Like, what kind of game is it going to be, and who's going to make it? How long is it going to take? Yeah, you can see that there's still some lingering regret or problems.
Are we going to be building? And so we did a lot of the research on what that was, right? We figured out that we wanted to be in the genre that they were the experts in. And then so what we did is we put out RFPs, a request for proposal to a number of groups, honestly. I don't know how many groups a lot, a bunch of groups. And people came back with really interesting offers, interesting perspectives on how to do it, expertise in different areas. And I mean, just honestly, Magic Media kind of came in with
Out of all the people that put an RFP in, that we felt would really deliver on that. So, yeah.
We are not looking into creating games for people. We are looking into creating games with other people. And we found Grid Mountain.
Let's move this along a bit.
Your position in the grid reflects, who would take damage, and it really matters where you're going to be. So, for us, it was not just a case of.
I mean, Raid has that in the sense that it's the order in the team, right? But I guess their one is more Dragon Age tactical. But this stuff is not new, right? Like Dragon Age and these things all have positional importance, right? Baldur's Gate has 3D positional importance.
I think it plays well. We also had to have a collective rethink around, okay, well then, how do we stand out? Yeah, and so it wasn't.
And how do you stand out? I'm still not sure why KEKForge stands out. I mean, we got so many of these mobile games, right? As Stu Gaming would call them, raid killers. I think, as a raid player, we stopped counting after about 17, 18. I have no idea what raid killer this is. It's like 20th, 30th?
Time, because when you've got a number of people saying, you know what, this system, although it's cool, is probably not going to be the best performance for your game, or the best enjoyment level for your players. And I guess we value the fact that you're comfortable to say it, and that does show that kind of partnership again, because you might just say, well, we're just going to build what you tell us to build, and and fine. But having a leadership team that come to us and say, no, look, let's talk this through. Let's talk about why we think there's a better option. I think that was really good value for us.
Yeah, I mean, to close it out around the grid, not the case. It's not true. And when there's people like Muad,
what to expect from them. And in design of video games, in entertainment design, it's
actually figuring out our characters, and we can't say the number. Obviously, we have goals, hundreds of characters, but it is like getting a PhD in each of these mythologies.
I wouldn't, as someone with a PhD, I don't want to say anymore.
You have to figure out, all right, who is this character? What's their affinity going to be? What faction?
You read 100 words on Wikipedia. It's not a PhD in that mythology.
How should they look? What are the accoutrements or the extra things that should be on the character? And that's just like the stance. What weapon is it named? What should their name be? What should their title be? And it's like all these things. We would just be like, what do you think? He's like, oh, well, you know, in the 1200s, there was a legend. I'm like, what?
A walking Wikipedia.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Like I said, Wikipedia. It's not a PhD. It's just you Googling shit.
So, who's your favorite character that we've created so far, or that's in
Are we
development?
going into Simon League's territory now?
Yeah, let's
Do it, do it.
Let's do it. Only one.
Oh. But where there's no Danny in the game. I mean, Danny is one of my favorite characters. Although we did
Both. I love it.
Yeah, you're like Arthur because you're British.
Can we get Nessie, the Loch Ness monster? Like there's
Paling, I don't know if that's the best either,
That's right,
so we
Sarah from
can't.
sorry, Hades is in game, but he has a
allow the free-to-play community to utilize all the heroes in the game, and those game modes will be extremely knowledge and skill based because it's all about drafting the right sets of combinations of heroes to be effective, and that for us is a really big part.
Is he saying that all the champions are available for everybody, but it's about how you build them? But you would just have guides and everyone just build them the same. Don't understand. Let me just replay that.
I think so. In other podcasts, we've already spoken about normalized PvP, normalized draft mode PvE, and they're two game modes which I think are going to be crucial for our game to really allow the free-to-play community to utilize all the heroes in the game, and those game modes will be extremely knowledge and skill based because it's all about drafting the right.
I mean, from what we've seen of the demo, most champions have like 2 skills or 3 skills. I don't know how skill based is that really. It's based on turn meters, I assume. So faster the better, more damage the better. What is a skill exactly? Having the right gear? Well, it's just a lookup table, right? I don't see why that's really, really skillful.
Sets of combinations of heroes to be effective, and that for us is a really big part of what we're building here is game modes which can be really accessible for.
If your team is 3, the permutation is 6 or something, right? Or I don't know, like how many combinations are there really for these kind of things? I don't know.
Players and obviously game modes for the filthy krakens as well.
So free to play have all the champions, but filthy krakens can also play. What would they play for?
Yeah, I mean, like those modes are going to be so awesome. But actually, what I'm
Look at how Hades is. He's so happy with himself. Free to play is welcome. Krakens are also welcome. Ah ha 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 ha.
surprised about is how excited I am about just the story itself. Like we.
You really don't need to drink more Coke, mate. Honestly.
It's just really fun to take something that exists in mythology and then put your own twist on it. And I
Yeah, that's like every 4-year-old's dream. But you're all adults.
that's one of the that's the thing I'm most excited about is like, you know, this character right here. This is Eurydice. I don't know how this is pronounced. Someone has to tell me how this is pronounced.
I thought you have a PhD in all the mythologies.
But I mean, Eurydice, yeah, is that what we're saying? Okay, so Eurydice. I mean, think about how cool it is for us to just be able to tell a story around her and her bow.
You mean you basically copy Wikipedia across to your game and then retell that story, plagiarized effectively?
I'm forgetting his name now. Like, oh my gosh, Orpheus. There you go, Orpheus. Yeah, exactly. Just to like those little
Yeah, he doesn't have a PhD in these areas.
connections, and then you can tell that story in the mechanics. And it's not just about like, oh, there's a snippet of lore or there's a big long, you know, diatribe that we do on it. No, it's about like that they have a partner bonus or that their skills interact in some way, and there's a reason you want to.
Oh wow, you convert bits of lore into skills and collaboration skills. Woohoo! Oh, it's like, you know, if you got all the little kids in your neighborhood together and you said, hey, guys, what do you like about ancient history? Now, make up like a fantasy game based on all the cool things you find about different races and different Bronze Age civilizations. Doesn't matter if you can't tell the difference between Bronze Age and medieval. Neither can this game. And then just mix it all together. And it feels like that's what they've done, really. Like it's like a childhood dream.
Characters together. That's what really makes this genre so fun. It's like you have hundreds of characters. Okay, well, which characters are you going to use and which ones are you going to focus on and how are you going to put them together and what orders you're going to use the skills. I don't know. That's what I'm most excited about. And like, so that just gives me so many ideas and it gives us a lot of opportunities for amazing game modes for people to enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was personally very happy to hear like that the factions are going to matter. There are going to be some sort of bonus. It's not just, oh, we're throwing them in something because they look the same. It's
No game throws things together and they look the same. Every game has collaborations, affinities, and faction bonuses. The only difference is a lot of gamers, at least one of them is sitting on this panel, doesn't understand it and can't be asked to study it, and then therefore has to make up their own one. It's just, I mean, if you take Raid, for example, it has loads of these subtle bonuses and skill matchups and the way blessings and masteries and gear sets affect those skills. But I don't know. Maybe it's not tied to lore as much. Maybe they just want to tie it to lore.
than just that, which I think some games kind of lack an importance and a synergy with lore and their actual like faction.
But what is the lore exactly? It's not like Arthur existed or Anubis is real, right? It's still made up stuff and open to made up interpretation. I don't know.
Do you have any questions from the audience here, from our live audience? No, maybe live studio audience.
All right. I'm gonna ask a couple questions then. I'm asking questions. That's right. All right. So we'll do polls basically then.
What's going on? Is he asking questions to himself?
Okay. So we've already done the Robin Hood thing. We already established that. Okay, but so are there any characters that you guys would want to see? Again, the concept.
Oh, so he's going to ask the audience questions because the audience is not inspired enough to ask questions.
Gods, myths, and legends across all the mythologies. Any character that you would want to see in the game. We have an Artemis. Yes, that one has been leaked. Is in.
It's literally like I've been saying. It's literally like kids who just want to name their favorite thing, like from any kind of mythology or civilization or anything. And it's just like, in the end, you're gonna have like, I don't know, like Roosevelt. you know, it's going to go into the modern era because you're going to run out of historical characters, right? You're going to have like Boris Johnson or or like, I don't know, Elon Musk in there. You're going to run out. If you want to, you know, create a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000 champions, you're going to run out.
She's going to be really awesome. Actually, I don't think we have any art up here, but you guys can check it out.
Is it me or their armor looks like World of Warcraft armor from certain seasons? I haven't played Warcraft for 15 years or something, so I'm probably out of whack, but they really remind me of certain armor sets.
Spoilers.
Not officially.
Not officially. Yes. No. Yes. I don't know how to answer that question.
Nothing can.
Well, I'm sorry, Dan. Feel free to stay over there for a minute.
Chance, it would be fair. It would be fair to give shout out to Lazaro.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do it, man.
No, it's not my turn.
Okay. I mean, so
What?
I guess I will definitely give a shout out to Lazaro, our executive producer. I mean, we haven't done a shout out on this one, and it's ridiculous, honestly, because he's amazing. The amount of stuff that needs to be put in a game, you don't really realize until you start doing it, right? We went over it a little bit.
No,
with Alex about like
you do realize it because you guys are just naming random things and expecting them to manifest. There's no like due purpose, right? Like, for example, you have a general Egyptian model and then you fit stuff on top of it. You guys seem to just like name all these unique champions that have existed throughout history and the world of thinking and ask them to be manifested in the game to high quality. Yeah, that's going to take you a huge amount of money and time.
To make one character. Okay, that's one character. We have hundreds of characters. Then we have environments. Then we have actually the development of
From what we heard earlier. But KEKForge on the map, people were able to see our demo live, and it's been great showing some of the people here today. And actually, it's just been a really good working relationship, partnership with Magic Media, friendship as well, yeah. I'm sure we'll have some more beers tonight. But, you know, it's been a real pleasure, actually. So I guess appreciate it and appreciate you joining the podcast today, Marvin. So it's awesome. Wow.
Forever, my friend. I tried to avoid it for a year now.
We snuck you in.
And yeah, I can see you smiling, Dan. You did it. But all jokes aside, it was a great privilege to work with you guys for all this time, to see these ideas come to life, come to screen. And for me, you asked me about like highs and lows of the project. And I forgot one really, really important, interesting, like the best moment for every game that I ever worked on. And that is when we had our first build playable on the device. Yeah. Once that you see it, it's touchable, it's playable, it's tactile, and you say to yourself, we have a game.
Yeah.
And
I guess I will say one thing before we go. It really does feel like not just friendship, but it feels like family. I said it once, I'm going to say it again.
You say that now. Just give it a few more months. Give it a few more months. See you guys later. You know, I'm going to make a bet with you guys, right? KEKForge won't happen. That's my bet. Like, they'll get to beta, I think, but they won't get to release. I think they're just trying to do too many things, but they won't have enough on gameplay. And they'll just run out of money in the end, I think. I think that's what the tension is, really. That you have people who are dreamy about all these champions, like it's like a card collector game, right? But in reality, the success of the game is really on game mechanics and new content. Like Raid, how it keeps spinning out new dungeons, new content, and it keeps moving forward. And that takes money. That takes a huge amount of money and planning and experience. And I'm not sure KEKForge has that. And I think it will just run out of steam. Which is a bit sad, you know, because clearly you know, how Hades or Simon is very enthusiastic about this, but I just think it's ill-placed, right? It's not well-placed. And for all the KEKForge fanboys out there, for all the things you hate about Raid, guess what? They're the ones that make Raid the most successful game. And for KEKForge to be successful, it will have to do the same. And that requires a detailed level of thinking, a much more sophisticated level of planning and execution. And from this, from what I've seen, it doesn't even come remotely close.